He first soaked the sponge with water, then shaved off a patch of the prisoner's hair. Next, he placed the wet sponge on top of the prisoner's head, making sure it made direct contact with the skin, to ensure that during the execution, the electric current would flow straight to his brain. This way, the prisoner wouldn't feel any pain. But that day, a new guard arrived at the prison. He broke protocol and failed to wet the sponge, placing it dry directly on the prisoner's head. His colleague nearby didn't notice anything wrong either. Soon, the execution began. At that moment, David happened to glance at the water bucket and noticed there wasn't a single drop of water around it. He immediately sensed something was terribly wrong. He tried to stop it, but it was too late. His colleague had already flipped the switch. Instantly, a powerful electric current surged through the prisoner's body. But because the sponge hadn't been soaked, the prisoner let out agonizing screams. Soon, white smoke began rising from his body, and the air filled with the smell of burning flesh. David tried to rush over and stop it, but his colleague held him back. According to regulations, once an execution begins, it cannot be stopped. Cutting the power at that point would only cause the prisoner more suffering. Even the victim's family members present ran outside as fast as they could after witnessing the scene. The guard responsible for this mess was now too scared to even look. David rushed over and grabbed him, forcing the guard to face what he had caused. Finally, after enduring excruciating pain, the prisoner went completely still. Seeing this, his colleague quickly shut off the power. Another colleague brought over a fire extinguisher and tossed it to the new guard, telling him to clean up his own mess. Afterward, he claimed he didn't know the sponge needed to be wet. Upon hearing this, a colleague punched him square in the face. David quickly stepped in to break it up, though everyone knew this guard had done it on purpose. There was nothing they could do about it, because this guard had gotten the job through connections. When the warden heard the commotion and came over, the guard's punishment was merely being transferred to a different position. As he walked through the prison with a smirk, a prisoner suddenly grabbed him and kissed him on the cheek, while his hands started wandering downward. At that moment, another guard pulled out his gun. The prisoner wisely let go of the guard. To everyone's surprise, the guard was so frightened he wet himself. The nearby prisoners burst into laughter. From then on, this guard never dared to mess with the inmates again.